grab your cereal, get that milk, turn on the TV, get in front of that boob tube early. We're talking animation. It's the weekend. Well, welcome back to it, my friends. AKAPAD, the Film Buff. This is the Film Buff podcast where I get so obsessed over topics. This episode has splintered into two directions. One of them is continuing our Captain America coverage. The other one is Spider-Man in media from the mid-70s to mid-80s. This is when one heck of a run. I somewhat overlooked it and lacked perspective on it. So, we're going to have an episode around the release of this episode that details Spider-Man in media, in cartoons, because it's significant. But along the way, the popularity of good old Webhead lends itself to the promotion of other Marvel comic book characters. So, with his premiere first animated series, we get Captain America. Captain America gets captured by the Red Skull, and we have a storyline that gets continued later in Marvel Comics, but it is like 30 years down the road. I'm going to explain it all to you guys. This is a doozy.
Camera speed, sound production, take one.
Action!
Let's just get right into it. Uncanny Adventures 2012. Everything I'm about to discuss with you, I haven't read. I only know this just through conversation and things I might see online. I'm not sure exactly where I became aware of the storyline, but essentially, within Uncanny Adventures, we have the Red Skull, and he, does some of his mind swapping. He gets into the mind of Onslaught / Professor Xavier / Magneto. The Onslaught storyline for Marvel comic books effectively is the end of the original Marvel comic book continuity, where to defeat Onslaught, we have the Avengers, we have Fantastic Four, Captain America, Iron Man. They all sacrifice themselves to defeat this pure evil. So much evil that those characters, they're basically dead. They're dead. They get killed, and they get cast into this floating alternate dimension created by Reed Richards' son, Franklin Richards. And then as soon as they return, it's a storyline called Heroes Return. Marvel Comics is just never the same and never looks back. And by never looking back, I mean the continuity is broken. So we kind of have somewhat new iterations of these heroes that kind of give a nod to everything that came before, but not really. And the reason for that is Captain America, Avengers, Fantastic Four, and Iron Man really were duds, really were not selling well enough. Marvel felt comfortable to do anything with them. So they just put together a lot of these properties that just were turds. They were mud. They were just stuck. And they said, well, we have to do something. They did something drastic, and in a way found a way for those characters and the creators around those characters to just breathe some really good life back into them, and it did work. Like everything I just described to you worked in the larger sense, but it's of a sacrifice. Onslaught is maybe the best villain we've ever seen in Marvel Comics. Onslaught does things that every single villain dreams of. Red Skull finds a way to get his mind into Onslaught. See, the Red Skull is always pursuing he just wants to be immortal and powerful. That's the only thing and this goes back to some of these earlier, some of the early days of Red Skull, where he's pursuing the Cosmic Cube. Red Skull at one time was synonymous with the Cosmic Cube. Back during the mid-90s, early 2000s, if the Red Skull got a statue or a bust, it included the Cosmic Cube. They were absolutely synonymous. Now it's Loki, right? I mean, with that Avengers movie, and that's fine too. But it's not even the Cosmic Cube, because the Cosmic Cube technically is the time gem, and it's And here we go, right? That's why sometimes we have to stick a middle finger up to the movies, because the comics get things right, and they get things a little bit more fun. In this episode 18, in fact, first aired January 9th, 1982. We get, let's just make the argument, this is the first animated cartoon appearance of Captain America. Now, around this time, Captain America, as I showcased on my YouTube channel, he was a part of a public service announcement about conserving energy. That was a animated cartoon that was airing around the same time. But let's just go into story and continuity, because technically Captain America does exist in this Spider-Man continuity of the animated series. Episode 18, January 9th, 1982. The capture of Captain America. 1982, Uncanny Avengers, 2012. 82, 2012. That's a long time. You want to guess what the Red Skull's little plot is against Captain America? Because he kidnaps him. He gets Captain America, hooks him up to an S&M chair with a claw. The claws are gripped around Captain America's head. Red Skull equally is strapped into an S&M chair with a claw around his red noggin. And he's going to transfer the minds. He's going to put his mind into Captain America. Spider-Man, in his pursuit of Captain America, guess what Spider-Man does? He disguises himself as Captain America. Because everyone thinks Spider-Man was a part of the kidnapping of Captain America, and he just can't be seen. So he has a little spider tracer on Captain America's shield that the Red Skull doesn't care about, nor the doctor that's helping Red Skull, because Red Skull needs doctor assistance in nearly anything he does animated at this time. Spider-Man and his amazing friends, I'm looking at you. But he's able to trace and track and pursue Red Skull to the castle. So he charters a flight. He just jumps out of the airplane as Captain America. You kind of want to say that's also superhero trope endlessly repeated now, where there's no parachutes, no nothing. The hero just drops. And that was really made famous in the Brian Hitch, Mark Millar Ultimates, where one of the WW2 soldiers is like, hey, doesn't he have a parachute? And another soldier responds, I believe it might have been in the first or second issue of that run, no, don't you know that's Captain America? Which is like, yeah, meaning the other soldier has seen him drop out of airplanes before. So I don't know. This could be the beginning of that trope as well. So we get, like, this episode 18 has a lot. We also get this idea of the broader Marvel universe, which is fantastic. When Spider-Man goes to buy his costume, we see that there's a Black Bolt costume. We see a lot of the 7-Eleven Slurpee cups, that license work that is really on par to the later 80s, the Jose Garcia Lopez license work that people just really get overjoyed about, and rightfully so. A little bit bloated, a little bit flabbergasted, little bit overrated, but it's people enjoy it. But the 70s Marvel stuff it's equal grounds. I would say DC saw what Marvel was doing with their licensed images and what they were leasing out, essentially, the quality of it, and DC said maybe we should make this a little bit better. And they did, and it worked and became legendary. What DC saw Marvel doing with the licensing work. But anyway, we get like Black Bolt. We see there's a Black Bolt costume, and then when's the next time we see Black Bolt anywhere? It's actually during the Marvel Cinematic Universe when they try and do that Inhumans show, and later with Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. So Red Skull's doing the mind swap. Spider-Man is swapping himself. And we get a quick resolution. Spider-Man saves the day. Spider-Man's name is vindicated, and we're all moving on. The one thing I absolutely love about this series, though, is the music is so perfect. The drawing style is so perfect. There's it's really the pursuit of the Marvel universe, and this is a lot what Marvel was flirting with at the time. They thought they could become another Disney. They thought they could be an animation powerhouse with their characters. This series overall is a nice demonstration of how Spider-Man, just as an avatar for the audience, can weave through all of this, multiple heroes, multiple villains, new heroes, new villains, and just kind of keep going and keep that same attitude, that same character going, which is why we don't really like to change characters, because the ones that work are so rare, they have to be cherished, and you kind of don't mess with what you know fits and what you know works, if you think about that. But yeah, Captain America episode 18 of, let's see, what years did this run? Spider-Man. 26 episodes, first episode September 12th, 1981 to 1982. Syndication. Now, this was followed by 2 more years of Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends. And then it really wouldn't be until 1995 where we got the Spider-Man the Anime series. And that's the one that is the true masterpiece, yet to be topped. It's not even close when it comes to that one. But yeah, guys, what a fun episode. It's available on Disney Plus. Just search Spider-Man Good episode 18. You don't have to watch these in any type of sequence or order. I randomly just like to put them on, and a lot of it's for the reasons I already cited. It's really for the music and just the look of it all, because I do feel like there's more of a broad style implemented for this animation. It's really all the characters look a certain way to hit the biggest audience possible, but it's also very pleasing. So alright, AKAPADers, love you guys, rock and roll.
Okay, that's a wrap.